And the winner is Washington, the District of Columbia, where this house is just one of many, immersed in luxury and not for sale. But what happens here and here and here played a major role in some changes in the latest U.S. Census data. The Washington, D.C. metropolitan area today has the lowest poverty rate in the country at 8.4%.
Money is a magnet, and it pulls people here to make more money.
That made clear as well in a survey of median household income, with 4 out of the 5 wealthiest counties also in the D.C. metro area and its surrounding suburbs. One of those places is Fairfax County, Virginia, home to the National Counterterrorism Center, the CIA, and it's located less than 20 miles outside of downtown Washington. So for those who work inside the city, it's a fairly easy commute. And not a bad one when you're coming home to this or this. Not a foreclosed sign or even a for sale sign in sight. Big houses are needed, after all, for those with big bank accounts.
We're seeing more and more in D.C. a lot of military contractors coming to Washington, D.C., a lot of telecom, and a lot of Wall Street firms opening up offices here.
You had a lot of big issues happen these last few years: healthcare reform, financial reform that brought in insurers, Wall Street types, all kinds of people who are looking to make the process work for their bottom lines.
Chris Freites is the lobbying correspondent for the National Journal and says big companies put big bets in Washington because they almost always pay off.
If you're a huge company, if you're able to take that $10 million investment and find a tax loophole that saves you $1 billion a year, that's a very smart investment.
On the streets of Washington, these have become a familiar sight. And it's no wonder. iWatch News found there has been a 73% increase in government-owned limousines in the last 2 years, from 238 in 2008 to 412 in 2010. A few miles south and east, it is a different set of wheels you'll more likely see: the city bus. The people who live here more aware of the other extreme statistic that came out of last year's census, that D.C. has the highest rate of those considered poorest of the poor, or those who live at 50% or less of the official poverty level.
I think it's a boundary, it's a line drawn somewhere, an imaginary line that separates the people.
The Anacostia River here could be that line, the proverbial train tracks, where life on the other side is almost another world, and where many have been pushed to after getting priced out of their homes.
A lot of people can't afford the rent that's going on today because they're moving everyone out. I mean, even around my way, who can afford a $200,000 condo?
Even here, people are getting pushed further outside, with evictions more and more widespread.
They used to call this Chocolate City, you know, and we were not rich, you know what I mean? So when they finally moved us all out, I knew the rich was coming.
And come they did, transforming the U.S. Capitol into a microcosm of the nation, where the gulf between rich and poor continues to deepen. In Washington, Christine Frizzau, RT.